We are in the age of Anarcho-Bidenist unionism. The unions are strong, the anarchy is growing, and the Joeing is Bidening. So recently, it's actually been a pretty good it's been a pretty good time for unions in this nation. The WGA recently pulled out a pretty good contract, which we are going to briefly go over in the coming minutes. And the United Auto Workers are striking. We also have movements in, say, SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, and their unionization. Well, no, they've already been unionized, but their strike, it seems like the unions, ladies and gentlemen, and those not within the unions, have been pretty strong recently, and that's a pretty good thing. I'm a union lover. I'm a union enjoyer, if you might. I love unions. I think unions are pretty cool. The ability for workers to come together and collectively bargain as a group against their corporate overlords is a good idea, as a matter of fact, and I'm pretty happy seeing everything that's been going on with unions recently. I'm very happy to see that. So first, let's read right quick over the WGA contract that recently came out. Hasn't been ratified yet, but it seems like it will be. So the terms of this agreement is September 25th, 2023 through May 1st, 2026. So minimum increases. So they have 5% minimum increases on the contract, so a 4% next year, 3.5% the year after, so some pretty good increases. Healthcare and pension... I can't speak, I'm sorry. Healthcare and pension contribution rate. They have increases in that, including for writing teams as well. And then this is the big pullout, the contract on artificial intelligence. We have established regulations for the use of artificial intelligence. AI! I'm sorry. We've established regulations for the use of AI on MBA-covered projects in the following ways. This is big. One of the bigger reasons why the WGA went on strike is because of fears that they would be replaced by AI, by studios. Because, you know, you don't have to pay an AI, you can just get the AI to write for you, and then you don't have to pay for writers, which would quite literally just make them irrelevant and get rid of their jobs. So, oh, what's up, Meme Joy? Welcome to chat. Let's go ahead and put you on. Okay. AI can't write or rewrite literary material, and AI-generated material will not be considered source material under the MBA, meaning that AI-generated material can't be used to undermine a writer's credit or separated rights. This is big. AI can't write or rewrite literary material, so they can't make anything or change anything up. A writer can choose to use AI when performing services if the company consents, and provided that the writer follows applicable company policies, but the company can't require the writer to use AI software. The company must disclose to the writer if any materials given to the writer have been generated by AI or incorporate AI-generated material, and the WGA reserves the right to assert that exploitation of writers' material to train AI is prohibited by MBA or other law. So basically, you can't write with AI if you're a company. You can't use AI to write. You can't force writers to use AI to cut down on the amount of writers that you have. And also, you can't use, this is also a big one, you can't use previously written material to train AI to write more material, which is big for writers because that basically asserts that like AI can't take their jobs. You can't use it to write. If you're a company, you can't use it to write under these terms, and you can't use other people's work to train it to write. So basically they're screwed out of it. And then they have other terms such as residual increases, just all good around. And then we have the United Auto Workers, the UAW Guild, who have currently been on strike recently against General Motors and Ford. Big things are going on. I believe Biden was recently on the picket lines with them. This is a big strike. Auto working, even if it hasn't been as big in the US as it used to be, it's still pretty big. Auto working is still pretty big in the US, and I'm really happy to see what's going on with the UAW strike. So that's big. And then SAG also seems like they might be coming to the end of their strike. The Screen Actors Guild, basically this year, for some reason, has been an elevation in union movement that has been going on. Thank you, President Anarcho-Bidenist Joe. But no, for real. This isn't just because Joe Biden is president. Yeah, everyone says Anarcho-Bidenism, unionism as like jokes and stuff. This is not the reason why Joe Biden is not the reason why all of these big moves in unions are happening. It's because workers in the United States are becoming more and more and more tired of corporations screwing them over, and a lot of them are starting to gain some level of class consciousness. The idea that these people who are above them, these people that own the corporations, that run the corporate boards, that regulate what happens in their jobs, yeah, they are starting to become tired of that. They're starting to become tired of being controlled by these people, being screwed over by these people, and for that reason, they are, they're rebelling. They're striking out against them. We saw this last year with movements, well, in the past few years, I mean, with movements by Starbucks stores, by Amazon warehouses to start the process of unionizing, and we're really seeing it coming to a head now where these unions that already exist are now striking, and they are getting, if the WGA is anything to go off of what companies will do in order to just get back on track and keep making money, if what's happening with the WGA is enough to prove that, baby, these unions are stronger than ever. This is probably the strongest union movement in the United States of America since the early 1900s. And this is really good, and I'm glad to see this. So, I'm saying this to everyone, if you are in a trade, not even necessarily a trade, if you're in a trade, if you're working a job, unionize. Unionize. It can help you. Listen, if you feel like you're being screwed out of your job, you have every right to unionize, yeah? And maybe not necessarily do it out loud, because in many states, my state is a right to work state, unionizing can kinda screw you over, but then again, you would be shocked by just how many people have a positive view of unions. The propaganda that the Republican Party often pushes against unions, mostly the idea that, oh, you're gonna get so bogged down in union dues that you can't pay for anything, a lot of common people don't believe that. I'll say from personal experience, I came from a job where I worked as a cashier, and the view of everyone at my job was pretty positive about unions. The only thing was, no one ever engaged in starting a union because we knew that even talking about it could get you nuked from above. But I even had managerial staff. Managerial staff. Yeah, not the people at the top brass of the store, but like the like kind of semi-managers, the floor managers, people who really get the operations of the store running. They were joking openly about like unionizing and how, oh, it would be great if we could do something involving a 5-letter word that you can't say or else you get fired. It was a common joke. Oh, don't say the 5-letter word. Don't say the 5-letter word if you want to keep your job. And it's unfortunate that that's a joke. It's unfortunate that we have to joke that, hey, if you talk about unionizing, you're gonna get fired because we live in a right to work state. But it's also important to note that at the end of the day, the fact that we were making those jokes in the first place kinda points to the fact that we knew that unionizing would be a good thing for us. That we knew that if we did unionize, we would get some pretty good benefits out of it. And I think that's might be just off of personal experience. I don't necessarily have data on this, but I do think that we are moving towards a more conscious America when it comes to the topic of unions, when it does come to the topic of social stratification and our jobs, etc., 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 and I'm really happy about that. And if you want to continue to make me really happy, you can hit the like button down below to say that you like this video. You know, it also pushes it out to more people so that we can spread Anarcho-Bidenist unionism. And you can also subscribe, hit the bell icon if you have not already, so that you know whenever I upload and whenever I go live, because this is a live stream segment. That's why a chat was up here for a second. It was on this side. You can also, my kind friends, you can also join the Discord server down below. You can talk to me there, maybe even debate me if you have something to debate me about, who knows, and you can follow me on Twitter down below as well. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop recording button.